Welcome to the Sailor Noob podcast, where a superfan and a noob talk about the original Sailor Moon episode by episode. I'm your host, Mikan Hana, joined by my co-host.
I'm the co-host, Caliban, and I've got a bone to pick with you.
Whoa, me?
Yes.
Uh-oh.
Finish the intro.
Okay. I'm a little worried. We're a couple of magical people ready to Moon Prism Power make up this episode. Sailor Noob is a part of the Just Enough Trope Network. What's up?
You know that I don't look ahead.
Yeah.
Even though if the show looks ahead for me.
Yeah.
But anything that happened, after is fair game. And so, if I was to, say, browse or peruse elements of what's going on in the Sailor Moon manga behind this point in the story.
Uh-huh.
I didn't know that Sailor Jupiter kills Nephrite in the comic.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes, like in the comic, he is still around when Sailor Jupiter shows up, and that's one of the first things that she does.
She's just like, "What's up? You know me, custom bra, in love with everybody. That guy, bam. What else we got going on today?"
Yeah, well, and also in the comic, him and Naru don't have a relationship at all, and I think I failed to mention that before. Yes.
That forms such a big part. Okay, like the Rei Mamoru relationship is just killing time.
Yes.
I get that. But that's such like a big, does Naru do anything in the comic? That's such a big part of her character.
I know. I agree with you.
Plus the idea, so that makes me think that introducing the idea that, these are bad guys, but even if they're not human and don't have human souls, they can understand over a lot of time
right.
work like human emotions and, or pretend. Maybe it's better that they can't be good, because then we can just kill them with impunity. Because every Zoisite that we take out is like, well, if we just talked to him a couple more times, maybe he would have been like a jerk that works for us.
Right. I see what you're saying.
Anyway, I just I saw that and I was like, whoa, that would be an entrance onto the scene. That's like the second week in a row I've used a wrestling example, but you have a new guy come on and it's like, oh, who's this new guy? It's Brock Lesnar. And then Brock Lesnar just eliminates a mid-carder, the Big Show or something like that. And you're like, whoa.
Well, I mean, I get why you're using wrestling, because here's Jupiter, and she's my favorite. You know how much I love her, but she's super strong, and when we meet her in the anime, she's just she literally throws a guy.
Yeah.
So I get where you're coming from with the wrestling references.
Yeah. Well, and she can also just hit you with a bolt of lightning.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, she throws two guys, doesn't she? She throws one of the gangster guys, and then she throws Gensen, and yeah. Anyways,
get your own show.
Wow, harsh words. Today we are talking about episode number 28, Koi no Iratsu, Usagi to Mamoru ga Seiken in Japanese. The Painting of Love, Usagi and Mamoru Get Closer, the English translation, and the English title, An Artful Attack.
Oh, An Artful Attack.
Yes.
That's right.
Yes.
Okay, well, we probably should get right into this, because there's a lot of story in this one.
There is.
A lot of stuff that happens. As it opens, as usual, in the Dark Kingdom, Queen Beryl's got the cocktail party going, and Zoisite arrives, and Beryl lets him know, 2 crystals have now slipped through our fingers. We're 3 monsters down. Zoisite, what do you say? Zoisite says, I take no responsibility. And no, Zoe says, oh, no. Okay, look, I know. I got it.
Right.
Here's the next one. He gets the black crystal out, shows us a young woman with glasses.
Mm-hmm.
He says, this is the next one. Beryl says, Oh, sorry. I was just on the phone checking to see if we've got space in the deep freeze. No, that's right. About 5'7". No epaulets. Okay. Well, I hope you get this crystal this time. Back in Tokyo, it's a lovely day, a brisk fall day, and Usagi is lamenting that there are lovers everywhere, but alas, she's alone. and she asks Tuxedo Mask in her imagination, are you friend or foe? And where can I rent formal wear on the cheap? And Luna reminds her that he's after the silver crystal, just like they are, so that makes him our enemy. But Usagi laments that she has to live this lonely superhero life.
Yes.
This is a very Peter Parker moment.
It is.
She's looking at a reflection.
Yes.
Like Peter on the cover of that album. The Songs for a Teenager or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Naru arrives, and she has something to show Usagi, and they run off, the moonstick falling from Usagi's bag.
Yeah,
But Luna grabs it before it falls in the river.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be a real bad one, Dumb Bunny. Bunny-wise.
It's not good.
And also, Peter Parker didn't have a Jiminy Cricket in the form of Luna, I guess. So
That's true.
at the Umeno Gallery, a showing is happening, and a lot of the artists' work looks like off-brand Sailor Moon stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Lots of guys in uniform dancing with girls in flowy dresses.
Yep.
Usagi says that there's a lot of couples here, because that's what she's thinking about. And Umeno says, Umeno! Comes out of nowhere, as per usual. He says that Yumemi paints pictures of love. And Naru says that if you have a Yumemi painting, your wishes of love will come true. And Usagi says, well, I'm buying a print. That's for sure.
Yep.
And they see a purported self-portrait of Yumemi, and she is a blonde, princess-looking girl. Mm-hmm. Umeno says that the artist never appears publicly.
Yes.
People wonder if, was she ugly or what's going on? And just as he says that, we see the girl from the Black Crystal Vision walk behind our characters. Mm-hmm. This girl is furtively looking around at the faces of the gallery attendees, and she seems disappointed. Meanwhile, Naru and Umeno are explaining that the rumor right now is that Yumemi is in a slump, painting-wise, and that she's gone missing. Slumpu. And the girl hears this and says, I'm right here. So, yes, we've got it. This is Yumemi Umeno.
Yes.
Usagi sees a picture that looks oddly like Tuxedo Mask with a young girl, and she says, this picture feels nostalgic. And meanwhile, outside the gallery, our boy Mamoru is walking by, and he sees a print of that same picture in the window, and he also finds the picture familiar. He says it's like the dream that he always has of the castle, with the woman telling him to find the silver crystal.
Right.
He's lost in this reverie. He backs up and he runs right into Yumemi. Mm-hmm. We're doing a "Where's my glasses?" Velma style thing.
Yes.
And he's like, "Are you all right?" And she's like, "It's you." When she puts her glasses on.
Yeah.
Naru and Usagi look outside and they see Mamoru talking to Yumemi. And Naru says, "Isn't that one of Motoki's friends?" Meaning Mamoru, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I never thought about if Naru and Mamoru know each other, but whatever. And Usagi's
she goes
like,
to the arcade. Yeah.
Yeah. And Usagi's like, he's with somebody who's not Ray.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm going to tell Ray. Quick, Umeno, take Naru home.
Yes.
Oh boy. Which Umeno has a little breakdown over. Umemi tells Moreno, there's going to be a lot of names in this one.
Yeah.
Umemi tells Mamoru, you have to model for me. And Usagi runs up to rub Mamoru's face in it. And she also says, you've got the perfect face. You have to model for me, too. Uh-huh. So we fast forward to Yumemi's house. Got to move fast here.
Yeah.
And Mamoru and Usagi are looking at her art. And Usagi is finally putting together who this actually is. Yumemi says that people expect her to be as beautiful as her paintings. So she stays hidden and she has no friends.
Right.
But she's just she's doing the art.
Right.
Which is we've already talked in the show about how it's got to be about beauty or being pretty or whatever. It's pretty princess, defender, guardian, Sailor Moon or whatever.
Right.
But is this Japanese shorthand for ugly? She's got big glasses, and then she's got that braid that I'm pretty sure only exists in anime. I've never seen a Japanese woman with past shoulder length hair do one big braid over her shoulder like that.
Yeah, I don't know that I've really seen that a whole lot outside of anime either.
That's like a borrowing from the West.
Yes.
Putting it in anime.
Right, exactly. I think
rock it if you can. Usagi's not happy about posing with Mamoru, and he's not happy either. But she says she really needs a model for today. Yumemi does. And Usagi now realizes that she's in the situation that she was going to tell Rei about.
Yes.
Which I thought was funny.
Yes. Yeah.
But maybe he's a little handsome up close. Mm-hmm. Careful, Usagi.
Yep.
Across town, Luna is looking for Usagi because she has the moonstick still. I think it's awfully convenient that Usagi loses the moonstick so she can spend all day with the youma human in question.
Yeah, no,
without the moonstick going off.
Yes, I didn't even think about that.
That's called TV writing.
Convenient.
Yumemi has created a really nice picture of Mamoru and Usagi, and she says that whenever she draws, she makes a wish in her heart for the people to get joy from her pictures, and that they find a wonderful lover. Mm-hmm. And Usagi says, well, that's nice, but it sucks that you feel like you have to be alone to maintain this power. And Yumemi says, if people knew the truth, the dream would be shattered. Because what an uggo we're dealing with here. She's got 3 freckles. Just take the glasses off.
Right.
That's how it works, right?
Right.
Mamoru says, it's like, he says it. I don't know if this is like a convention in anime, but so everything kind of stops, and he says, like, if you can't make yourself happy, you'll never make anyone else happy. And it's like, oh, the cutting.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Drawing room drama.
I think we're supposed to think of him as kind of a jerk.
Yeah. Thank you, Mr. Daily Zen Calendar.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Usagi says, look at this photograph. I mean, look at this drawing. It's beautiful. You're wrong. But Mamoru is fascinated by the subject of the drawing that he shows her. It's a man and woman, and the woman is giving her lover a present. And that the present looks like the star amulet that we've seen Usagi with. Yes. Yumemi says that she feels miserable whenever she draws these two, I guess meaning the subjects of the painting. Mm-hmm. But Usagi says, very nostalgic.
Yeah.
We cut to Zoisite atop something high, and he says, hey, I'm still in this show, and I'm going to turn you into a real monster, you uggo.
Aww.
Conflict. We're going to need some.
Yeah.
That night, still going, Yumemi is walking Usagi home, and they see some girls admiring Yumemi's art hanging in the window of Le Café Marron, which means brown coffee in French. I looked it up.
Oh my goodness.
These girls are like, oh, she's so great. I bet that Yumemi is wonderful and beautiful. Not, wow, I love this art. Not because of the way the artist looks. That doesn't matter.
Right.
But, whatever. Usagi tells Yumemi that she worries too much. You got talent. You're kind. You bake good cookies. All the important things.
Yes.
Who cares if people, don't like how you look?
Right.
She doesn't say that. We never actually get there. But I guess it's implied.
Yeah.
No, it's implied.
Right.
You and the listener infers, the speaker implies.
Okay. All right. It's
and
implied.
The painter implies. Usagi says, cheer up and good night, and runs off. So that this uggo can get attacked already. We're like over halfway through the episode. Nothing has happened. On her way home, Usagi thinks, oh, I really helped her out. Mm-hmm. Just then, Luna appears and gives her the moonstick back and says, yeah, if you don't want this thing, I'll give it to somebody else. Uh-huh. And gives her a little bit of the third degree. And Usagi's like, no, I still want it. I was just worrying about Tuxedo Mask when all this is going down. And Luna's like, oh, yeah, well, I'm glad that you're feeling better. Your worries are so simple. You recover from them so quickly. I don't know if cats can be sarcastic, but I'm putting it in there. It felt like it.
Yeah, I think Luna can.
Yeah. And if Luna wants to weigh in on the dumb bunny scale, I guess she can. I think this one is a 3 personally. I think that Usagi is showing a lot of emotional intelligence if she's not being responsible with her life and world-saving items.
Yes.
So I couldn't get too hard on her for this one. And Usagi's like, oh, yeah, I'm just so simple. So she does have sarcasm. And I'm on her side. But comedically, this is where you have Luna add, yesterday you went to the school nurse because your hair hurt or something like that.
Right, yeah.
Or you tried to free the little people on the radio last week. This is where you would put that.
Yes.
But anyway, she doesn't. Usagi runs off in a huff, thinking, Luna, us girls worry about things because we're so complicated, which is... I'm going to stick hard at that 3, but... And suddenly, thank God, the moonstick starts flashing.
Yeah.
I know I said that I was warming to this show about romance, but we're going to need an anime fight or two here. So it's coming from Yumemi's house, where a Yuma awakening is already in progress. Even the show knows that we gotta get to this here. Yeah. So Zoisite says, give me the crystal. And Yumemi's like, wow, he's pretty. But I'm scared.
Right.
And we get a real casual Zoe. Little flick of the wrist. Zoe.
Oh, he just doesn't care,
Well, he's like, we gotta get this done.
Yeah.
The green crystal emerges. The green crystal, rainbow crystal, too many crystals, comes out from Yumemi, and she becomes Bina.
Yes.
Who is a winged, angel-looking Youma who, honestly, is not very monstrous. I think we talked before about how these sort of reflect the dark desires of the humans that they inhabit. And
I see what you're saying.
so she could never not be
beautiful.
She has to be, beautiful in this way.
And powerful. And yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, she looks like if she just showed up and said like, Usagi, I'm from the planet kingdom or something like that.
Yeah.
I'd believe her.
Right.
But we know she's bad. Why?
Yeah.
Deep
evil
female laugh. It's good to see you again. I've missed you. A lot of boy youma.
Yeah.
Usagi calls everybody on her Avengers card. Sailors assemble.
Which was great.
And they're all like, okay.
Yeah.
And she transforms into Sailor Moon. This has got to be the latest part in the series where she's actually like turned into Sailor Moon and we've like gotten to this because there's like 7 minutes left in the episode here. Zoisite and Vina just fly out of the house. I don't know where they're going because there are no Sailor Scouts here. He usually doesn't pull this off without a few onlookers. So they're just like, you want to eat somewhere? I don't know what they're going to do. But that's rectified because they are immediately confronted by the pretty guardian of love and justice, Sailor Moon. And Zoisite's like, yeah, all right, kill her. Take her out, Vina. And Vina draws a feather from her wings, a quill, that is. And she draws a rock over Usagi, purple crayon style. There's like green. There's like the green crayon. And the rock nearly crushes her. She's got Scribble Knots powers.
Yes.
Usagi's madly dodging many, many rocks, as she often does at the first part of these battles, dodging many, many somethings or others.
Yes.
Vina doesn't seem to be very creative. She just keeps making rocks. And then just
I
before...
think a painter would be more creative.
Well, maybe that's part of the whole dark side of the thing. Like she has this beauty that she has sort of desired, but she's lost her talent.
I see.
Which is the show doubling down on. You have to be ugly to be creative, I guess, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Anyway, she makes a huge rock. Can she lift it? We don't know. It doesn't matter because it's going to fall down and crush Usagi. But suddenly, Tuxedo Mask theme comes in. Tuxedo Masks grabs her out of the way. Says, I'll take Zoisite. You get Vina. We'll split up here. And why shouldn't she? She used to take out monsters solo before the rest of the band arrived.
Yes.
She can handle Vina, no problem.
Sure.
So she tells Yumemi as Vina to try to remember herself. But this isn't last week. That's not going to work.
Right.
Vina draws a bunch of ropes, which as they fly towards Usagi turn into snakes. Ah!
Yeah, I know.
It's freaky.
It is.
And if you didn't guess that Fire Soul was going to burn these right up, you don't know this show. Because that's what happens.
Yes.
All the Sailor Scouts arrive, and Luna tells Usagi, you did a great job by yourself. And it's such a weird, stupid thing, but I was like, oh. I think I'm just like realizing how abusive they are to her, that she says like one nice thing.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh my God, yeah, they never ever compliment her on anything.
No, you're right.
So she took care of it by herself. Vina, who is getting no marks for creativity here, conjures a bunch more rocks.
I know.
But Ami blinds her with a Shaban spray, and Usagi says, hey, you take care of her. Runs off to help, try not to kill her. Actually, she's like, be careful.
Right.
It's still her inside, Yumemi. Yep. Runs off to help Tuxedo Mask, who is confronting Zoisite on top of a construction site, as we've established. One of the mandated locations in action cartoons and anime.
2 episodes in a row.
TM says, give me that crystal. But Zoe blings him with a burst of rose petals. Ha-ha! Hoisted by his own petard. And when he's not looking, Zoe throws like a blade of ice, or maybe like a jewel or a gem, a pointy thing at him.
Yes,
basically.
yeah.
But just in time, Sailor Moon knocks it away with her tiara, which timing on this is rough, because I'll save you.
Yeah,
TM's going to be dead on the ground before you get through the whole song. But this is a quick one. There is no theme. She just sort of throws it and hits the thing. She's saved him. Sailor Moon has saved Tuxedo Mask.
Yes.
This time around.
Yeah.
Will she go, my job here is done, and just take off? No, she sticks around, and it's Zoisite that disappears in a flutter of petals. I guess he's leaving Vina to her fate. No employer loyalty in the Dark Kingdom.
No.
And Moon and Mask meet up once more, and Sailor Moon accidentally drops the pendant between them. Like, she couldn't have just brought it out and handed it to him.
I know.
But anyway, she asks him, this is your pendant, isn't it?
Yeah.
To which he sees the pendant and he thinks, princess.
Mm-hmm.
To which Usagi says, oh, we're looking for a princess. I guess. We haven't done it in a while.
Yeah.
And he says, I don't know where she is, this princess, but you should hold on to this if you're looking for her. And Usagi says, one more thing. Can you give us the crystals you took before?
Yeah.
And he says, sorry, babes, I'm getting those crystals. See ya.
Yeah.
And Sailor Moon watches him go pensively.
Yes.
And she remembers, well, we're not done yet. There's still a monster.
I know.
And the show seems to know this because it cuts immediately back to a shoe cream sundae in progress.
Yes.
Vina is getting rocked by the sailors. Feathers are lying everywhere. And Usagi arrives, gives her the MHE refresh.
Yes.
And Yumemi is back.
Yes.
She sees the Sailor Scouts fly away or jump away or they leave.
Yeah.
And I think I know what she's going to be painting from now on.
Yeah, right?
And the next day, Mamoru and Usagi stop by the gallery and Yumemi is out and about. She doesn't care if people know what she looks like. She's a real hunchback, this one.
Oh, my gosh.
And she shows them her final painting. She shows them that she's painted a real self-portrait
Yes.
of herself.
Yes.
And it's all thanks to Usagi.
Yes.
Aw.
I think it's sweet.
But according to your theory, she won't be able to paint anymore.
No, I think so. So this is what I think specifically with Yumemi, because she clearly painted that, I think, after she was a youma, so I think she can still paint. I think
she'll just paint Gundam or something.
Well, no, I think that what Umino and Naru were saying about her paintings, that maybe there's some sort of charm to them.
Well, she'll lose the psychic visions that sort of support her art.
Yes.
That's why I thought that she shows them the sort of finished version of the thing that she was doing before, the locket painting.
Yes.
But yeah, if they'd came in and all the paintings were like Gundam now or something, there's just something different. They're like, oh, okay.
Right.
She's going to stop painting rip-off Sailor Moon merch.
I know. Well, so much of her stuff, it's definitely inspired by Sailor Moon. So she's either having visions or dreams of that or something like that, beforehand. I mean, we even see a priestess that could be Rei, or
Let me see. Say, da, la, da, da,
V. Yes. And there's one that's it could be Naru and Nephrite,
Oh, I did not look close enough at these pictures.
Yeah, and there's actually, so I was looking.
Is there a cat?
I don't think there's a cat, but so in the background when Naru, Usagi, and Umino are looking at the paintings, there are two paintings in the exhibit that are of characters of Nako Takeuchi's previous work called The Cherry Project.
Oh.
So.
Well, we should do a show on The Cherry Project.
Yeah, we should.
Your Honor, a courtroom is a crucible. In it we burn away irrelevancies until we are left with a pure product, the truth, for all time.
Oh man, this is so intense. Data's on trial for his life.
I know. This episode, The Measure of a Man, is based on the Supreme Court's Dred Scott decision of 1857.
And every week on Backtracking, we take a look at the real-world events that inspired classic Star Trek episodes. Sorry.
Shut up! Shh. Who are you?
We're the hosts of Backtracking. I'm Caliban.
You will both be taken to the brig and from there to the nearest starbase, where you will answer charges for what you have done.
And I'm Gooey Fame.
This is not a game. This is life and death.
You can follow us on Twitter.
Backtracking is available wherever you listen to podcasts.
You go f*** yourself.
So for Kyomiru Curiously Looking Around, where we talk about elements of Japanese culture within the episode, I thought we could talk about ukiyo-e, which is a style of Japanese painting and woodblock printing.
Wait a minute. Spell that.
It is spelled ukiyo-e.
What's the -e? Is that a thing? What does that mean?
So there's a dash because it should be the yo should be elongated. So it should be I can't say it. It's ukiyo-e. And
is that in Japanese characters, is that built into the characters? Like this is just like a feature of Romanji to help you pronounce something that for a native Japanese would be like, oh, I get what that is. It's ukiyo-e.
Yeah, I think so. Like if it was in like hiragana, so which is the basic Japanese alphabet, it would basically I'm thinking it would have like an u, which is like basically helps. It's the character that basically helps elongate vowel sounds.
Yeah.
So I think that would be there.
Okay.
And
because their punctuation kind of sparse on the ground, right? At least traditionally. Like, do they have hyphens and there's no periods and stuff? Are there?
Well, I guess I don't know the exact history of that sort of thing.
Well, I guess you didn't take H in Japanese.
But
so.
When I learned how to write in Japanese, the way that we drew periods is a small circle. So that's basically what a period is in Japanese. And they do use commas. I don't know off the top of my head if they use hyphens natively or not.
Right.
But I can look into that.
Well, no, I mean, that's, yeah, okay.
You're just making conversation. So ukiyo means the floating world. And it...
Like Avatar.
Right. And it originated from the Buddhist sense of transient classification of life. Like, that life is transient.
But a dream.
That sort of thing. Well, that it's kind of fleeting.
Sure.
Sort of that kind of connotation.
Like existentially, or like gather ye rosebuds while ye may. Enjoy yourself. Life is short.
I think it had kind of a darker meaning originally in Buddhism, and was kind of like, well, maybe it is kind of like, enjoy it while you can sort of thing.
Get it while you can.
Right.
Janis Joplin.
But this, kind of depressing concept was kind of altered during the Edo period. And the kanji connotating to float was switched from the Hanan. Why are you laughing?
Cancer. And my name's Usagi.
Oh my goodness.
Float on.
Oh, okay, I see what you're doing.
That's what it's about.
Wow.
They were talking about the floating world. They're the floaters.
Yeah, I see what you're doing.
Okay, sorry.
Wow. So to the kanji meaning to float was switched from the hononym connotating transitory to communicate a more carefree lifestyle.
So just like colloquially? Like, we all just think that this means this now.
Right. We're
It's
changing
so weird.
the
I mean, I
meaning
guess
of
that we've got that in English with like individual characters too, but it's probably easier to countenance and like accept when it's just, I don't know, it's just weird to think
that
about
there be a cultural
pictures
change.
being your concepts instead of like assembling, vowel sounds. But I mean, they get along.
So
and this is the Edo period, so it's
yes.
like a period of, because I think I was saying something to you the other day, like the Japanese never, they had an industrial revolution, but it was like slow over the course of like a long time. As they just sort of like refined what they already had in terms of metalwork, but they never just had like a full on, here's a train.
Not in the same way. I mean,
But
kind of when the West opened up to them, they had something like that.
But they had a similar period where, once the shogun sort of unified Japan, all the fighting stopped, and then everybody could relax, and then we had increase in trade and the rise of a merchant and a middle class.
Yes,
and people had spending
more
money
time to
and
do entertainment type stuff.
Right? Yeah,
exactly.
And that's the Edo period.
Yes. The capital of Japan moved from Kyoto to Edo, which is present-day Tokyo, due to what you said, like the shogunate in the early 17th century, kind of bringing kind of this time of peace. And the Edo period was from 1603 to 1868. I can't talk. Ukiyo-e is a category of art that grew in Japan from the 17th to 19th centuries. And the A specifically, it means pictures or images. And its creators made, again, paintings and woodblock prints. And the subjects were sumo wrestlers, kabuki actors, beautiful women, scenery, travelscapes, animals and plants, moments from folklore and history, as well as erotic art.
So it's all built then around commerce then, because the whole point of a woodblock is that you can make a bunch of them.
Right.
So it's all to meet a market.
Yes, and it is a commercial art, and I don't know if that's necessarily a new thing in Japan at this time, but
there's definitely some old masters holding their ink brushes who are like, this wood blocks.
What is this?
Yeah,
right.
It'll never last.
Yes. But yeah, and I think you touched upon this as well. During this time, there were considered to be 4 different classes of people in Japan. The shogun and the samurai were at the top, farmers, artists, and then the merchant class were at the bottom. Like you said, the merchant class were able to partake in this time of. They benefited the most from this lucrative time and this time of peace, and were able to partake in the entertainment in Edo, in the entertainment district, like seeing geisha perform and seeing kabuki, and they also were able to buy these prints because they were at a kind of low cost.
Yeah. Can we dispel the myth right now that geisha are prostitutes?
Right. Geisha are not prostitutes.
Or at least exclusively prostitutes?
Right. And actually, I believe, so there's a difference between geisha and courtesans as well.
Yeah.
And courtesans are more kind of like...
That's for like the nobility.
Yeah, but they're more kind of like... there are prostitutes, but geisha are not prostitutes. They practice the arts. If you pay a very high price, might get the opportunity to sleep with a geisha, but it's not a common thing.
Right.
Right.
It's so weird because, well, it's not weird. It's actually like, I don't know. It's if sex is on the table, even if it's at the very edge of the table, I guess it's sex work, which is fine.
Right.
But nowadays, if you go to like a club and you get bottle service, maybe there's like some attendants or some girls that'll come and like hang out with you, but they're just trying to finish college, right? It's not like they can play the piano like an expert, or oh yeah, you enjoying that Ciroc? Check this out. I got a guitar out and just like really jam on a guitar, or
right?
Like that.
But there are modern day geisha. There are women.
Oh no, yeah, for sure. I'm just thinking
geisha.
About like a scene from Uncut Gems or something like that. You're not
sure.
gonna...
yeah. That's absolutely true. So the beginning of ukiyo-e was in the 1670s with artists like Hishikara Monrobu's monochromic prints and paintings of attractive women. Prints with color kind of developed later on. Initially for limited enterprises only done, and the color was done by freehand. Okumura Masanobu utilized numerous wood blocks to create areas with color in his work.
Huh.
Suzuki Harunobu popularized nishiki-e, or full-color prints. This technique was also referred to as brocade prints.
Sure.
As their bright hues conveyed a similar kind of connotation as Chinese shuichang brocades, or in Japanese, shoko nishiki. Full color printing became customary for ukiyo-e woodblock prints. Multiple blocks were utilized to create every print.
Okay.
So like it became common to use.
Could you mix and match
block.
elements then? It's like, yeah, I want the waterfall, but then I'd also like the castle. And you just bring it in like that.
I don't think they did it like that, but maybe that's something they could develop like later on. But it was very much the same sort of image, you know, but like different colors used for different areas of the print. In the late 18th century, portraits of actors and beautiful women by ukiyo-e masters such as Toshusai Sharuku, Tori Kiyonaga, and Kitagawa Itamaru became popular and sought after pieces of art. The 19th century led to several masters known for their scenery ukiyo-e art, mainly Katsushika Hokusai, most famous print named The Great Wave of Kanagawa. Is
That's
one
probably
of the
one that most people would know.
Yeah, it's probably one of the most, if not the most, absolute famous pieces of Japanese art.
What do you think that he was thinking when he made that?
When he made that?
He's just thinking, man, I'm going to make a picture of a honking great wave. Nobody's going to buy this. This is dumb.
I don't know.
200 years later.
Right.
It's on every mug at the museum gift shop.
It became so iconic, right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, just the brightness of the blue and like the foam of the waves and everything. It's
well, also just it always gets pointed out the negative space. You know, the wave that is suggested by, you know, the other the part that's not the wave.
Right.
You know?
Right.
The yin and the yang, if you will.
Absolutely. And the print was the first in a series of prints that he created entitled 36 Views of Mount Fuji. Right. And if you look at that series, they're all very different prints, but Mount Fuji can be seen in every single one of them.
Yeah.
So there's definitely kind of a through line story there, but I don't know if he made that first print and then was like, I know, I'm going to make 36 different views of Mount Fuji, you know?
Yeah.
I don't really know what the line of thinking was there. But.
Well, I mean, he was probably thought, we got all these like tourists, you know, coming in with all this money, so I'm going to make 36 postcards, you know, with Mount Fuji on them.
Right.
And then, man, I got 35 and there's one left. How about just a big dumb wave or something like that? Let's do a wave.
You think it was kind of like an afterthought?
I don't know. It would be, I don't know, it could be like, I'm staking my whole career on this. My name means old man mad about drawing. And once I do this,
right,
that's it.
Right.
You know, no more painting on a single grain of rice for me. It's going to be easy street for this kid. Maybe he was thinking that.
Yeah, maybe.
This is a better story if he was like, you know, if you made the Hollywood movie of it starring,
oh boy,
I was going to say Benedict Cumberbatch, but it better not be. You know, it would be a lead up to like, as a boy, he would almost drown, you know, in a river or something like that.
Giant
and
waves.
then, and he would marry a woman named Wave, but he would just be a slow, inexorable march towards him going, a ripple? No. A whirlpool? No. Wait a minute.
I got it.
Yeah.
Another famous artist during this time was Utagawa Hiroshige, who is best known for his series entitled The 53 Stations of the Tokaido. Tokaido Road, which approximately means Eastern Sea Route, was the main road of the 5 routes of the Edo period in Japan, and it connected Kyoto and Edo.
Okay.
So it was a road that was frequented by merchants, by and large, you know, selling their wares.
Tokaido?
Yeah, Tokaido.
So what's Hokkaido?
What does Hokkaido mean? Oh boy, I don't know. I'll have to look
Which
that
part
up
is
and
east?
Let you know. Which part is east?
Or is it east or road?
Oh, yeah, right.
Which is which? Well, a mystery for a future date, but I want
what
points
does
for
Hokkaido mean?
I want points for calling it out.
Okay, I will let you know and get back to you about that. So the Meiji Restoration in 1868 saw the beginning of a very sharp decrease in the production of ukiyo-e art. I think one of the most interesting things that I learned about ukiyo-e is the process that it took to make one of these woodblock prints. So artists very rarely engraved their own woodblock prints. And construction was divided into a multifaceted process. Artists originated the depiction. The carver would carve the woodblocks. The printer would add ink to the woodblocks and then put them onto washi or handmade paper. Typically a different block for each color. And then the publisher who advocated, dispersed, and subsidized the art. Due to the fact that printing was done by hand, artists were able to accomplish results unsuitable for instruments, like the blending of spectrum of pigmentation on the printing blocks.
Okay.
Typically, only the names of the publisher and the artist would be on the finished product.
Sure.
The artist would create an ink illustration on thin washi paper, which was then plastered with paste onto a block of cherry wood. And then it would be massaged with oil until the overlaying surfaces of paper, the first couple of layers,
right,
could be drawn off, which would then leave a transparent layer of washi that the carver would use as a template.
I think everybody's done this, right? I don't. It's not that I feel that like engraving or wood cutting is. I mean, it's clearly important in art history, but it's just something tactile that a sixth grader can do. Do you know what I mean?
No, I mean, I see what you're saying.
So I feel like we've all done this or seen somebody do this, right?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you don't think it's that remarkable, is what you're saying?
No, I think it's... No, that's not what I'm saying. I was not criticizing. I'm just saying I think we all have a connection to this because I think we've probably all done this in grade school. Didn't you?
Well, I've done linoleum.
Yeah, well,
what do you call it? Carving, engraving. Yeah. So I've done that.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the most similar thing to this.
Still got mine around here somewhere.
Yeah, I know, right? I did a unicorn.
I did a wolf.
Oh, here you go. We should have a unicorn and a wolf together.
That would be our, if we had a pub,
yeah,
it would be the unicorn and the wolf.
I like that, a combined emblem.
Right.
So there you go. Yeah, I like it. The publishers of the woodblock prints were the owners of the prints and the copyrights of the prints. And starting from the 18th century, they administered copyrights through Picture Book and Print Publishers Guild. Prints that were processed through multiple pressings were especially lucrative because the publisher could reuse the woodblock without any additional money going to the carver or the artist.
Sounds
of
like
the
comic
woodblock.
books.
Right.
Yeah.
So, kind of stinks for the artists and the woodblock cutter in that respect.
Well, welcome to capitalism.
Yeah, I know, right? Woodblocks were bartered or exchanged to pawn shops or to other publishers. Publishers were typically also dealers and frequently traded each other's goods within their stores. And without really going into it super deeply, ukiyo-e prints also impacted the Western art a lot, especially the Impressionist painters. Well, from the Impressionist painters on. And
this is Japan mania,
right? I mean, Vincent van Gogh he collected a lot of ukiyo-e art, and he also almost exactly copied a lot of the prints.
There's one that's like the bridge at
and Hiroshige,
something or other, that he just basically did And I don't remember if it was in oil or if...
I think it was in oil.
Yeah, he just was like, that's cool.
Right.
And since, as the publishers have proven, nobody cares about anything, I'm just going to just do this.
Right.
And then, they have some little things in the margins. I'll just make up some characters that don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just like a turkey washing machine. It's like, okay, Vincent.
I know, right? In Toulouse-Lautrec, he was very influenced by ukiyo-e as well.
The whole like print business of that era, and just that's directly off of that.
Yeah, he used a lot of the silhouetted configurations, that was used in ukiyo-e art. A lot of the flat hues that are present with his color choices as well. And he also, used a lot of entertainers and prostitutes as the subject of his posters and his paintings.
The gift that keeps on giving.
Yes. And he also, emulating the seal of the Japanese ukiyo-e artist, would frequently sign his work with his initials within a circle.
Sure.
So, kind of like their seal.
Does Mucha do that?
That's a really good question. I don't know the answer to that.
It wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me either.
Yeah.
So that's just kind of an overview of ukiyo-e art.
Yeah.
So
that was neat.
Yeah. Itadakimasu with Usagi, when we talk about what Usagi ate in this episode. Yumemi gives Mamoru some coffee at her house. Later we see Yumemi has also put out some cookies, which we learn later that she has made.
Right.
And they look like some kind of butter cookie, like a shortbread, but apparently they're really good.
Yeah, they get the seal of approval from Usagi.
Yeah, which says a lot. My Heart is a Kaleidoscope, where we talk about what the heck are they wearing in this episode. We get a new outfit from Usagi. It's a dark green jacket with a light green hood, light pink turtleneck shirt, black shorts, brown shoes, white socks, and a brown backpack with black straps. And then we see Naru in a new outfit too. I guess it's because it's a new season, it's fall. So,
right,
so they're breaking out their fall clothes. And Naru is wearing a jean jacket, a green shirt, a brown skirt, and her aqua hair bow. And Umino is we're seeing him outside of his school uniform.
Yeah, right.
And he's wearing a blue sweater, a white button-up shirt, brown pants, and a black belt. And Yumemi is wearing a long pink coat with a yellow hood and cuffs, purple and white striped skirt, a purple skirt, and a braid and glasses. And I think she's supposed to kind of look frumpy. I think that's what we're supposed to get from that.
What an ogre.
I know, right? I mean, at least they didn't go overboard and give her the glasses with the swirls like they give for Umino. A little bit of restraint there. And Mamoru is wearing a brown jacket with a black collar, blue jeans, and a white button-up shirt. And now we are at Villain Gauge, where you rate a baddie 1 to 5 dark stars, 5 being the most wicked. So this episode, her name in the episode is Bina.
Right.
Vena. And it, of course, it's Yumemi, and she had the green rainbow crystal. She's the first legendary youma who's a woman.
Right.
This is the 4th one. She's got big white wings, a light pink dress, gloves and boots, a gold harness around her shoulders, a pendant at the waist, and a tiara. She's like decked out. So when I looked into what her name was signifying, what I found is that it's most likely a reference to Bina, Binah, one of the 10 Sephiroth, or one of the 10 attributes of the Kabbalah on the Tree of Life, through which God discloses himself and generates both the metaphysical and physical domains. And
this isn't Neon Genesis Evangelion.
No, no. And I also saw it referenced as she's the Archangel Safkiel, aka Bina, which is why she took the form of an angel.
Sure.
And this is why I think maybe they had her name be Vina instead of Bina in Japanese. Is so there are characters in katakana, which is the alphabet for borrowed words,
right.
So words that are not native Japanese. So there is a V sound in katakana,
right?
And the characters that have the V sounds in katakana are basically in 1954, the Council of Japanese Language said that it was preferable for people to use the katakana katakana characters that represent the B sound, also not found in Japanese natively, for the V sound. So basically, when I learned Japanese, so they're in katakana, there are the characters, they're actually they're the H sounds in the native language, and you put a certain character, you add a mark to them and they become the B sounds, and then you add a different mark and it becomes the V sounds.
Okay.
So that's why I think maybe they pronounced her name Vina instead of Bina, although I'm not really sure why they did that necessarily.
Well, I mean, you have that in Spanish too. Mm-hmm. Like the B and V
are related.
They're basically like the same sound, and neither of them sound really like a B or a V.
Right. And then she throws feathers that make rocks somehow, and I don't know how that's related.
I don't know either.
Some of the rocks are giant, bunch of hand motions, and they turn into ropes or snakes. Like, the only thing I can think of is maybe she draws a rock because she's a painter, and then like drawing and painting. I don't know.
Yeah, no, yeah, it's a purple crayon situation.
Right,
yeah.
Right. Okay.
I had read that that Yumeno's name was a pun.
Oh, really?
Because it means seeing in dreams, which is Yume no Yumemi, like the words.
Okay.
But then put it all together, and she's Yumeno.
Okay.
Like a name.
Right. Huh. Well, that's kind of interesting. And her dreams are what she ends up painting and everything.
Exactly.
Okay. I really like Yumemi, but like Bina, I thought she was okay. I gave her a 3 out of 5 dark stars.
I'm going to 2.
I
don't want to go 2.
Okay.
But I can't go 3.
Why is that?
Because I can't. Because you did.
Oh.
And I probably did last week.
Okay.
But I'll say that in a show where the monster, we forget that she even exists because we're going to go off and do something else with Zoisite and Tuxedo Mask.
Yes.
If she can't even hold focus, then this is not a good Youma. And so, you look cool.
Yeah,
but
you're right.
I'm going 2.
Okay. All right.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, Bina.
So we're going to, We'll wrap up and do our rating for the episode. 1 to 5 roses, 5 being the best. And I really like the episode as a whole. I like Yumemi's character. We see her painting people like Sailor Moon and others within her circle. And I think there's more development between Sailor Moon and Tuxedo Mask. So because of that, I'm going to give it 4 roses.
Okay. I am going to go 3.
Okay.
Simply because we've got a trend down now. I was thinking the other day about I'm terrified to go back and look at my ratings for earlier episodes. Like the first episode of the show, Morda, right? Or Morga?
Yeah.
I probably gave her a 4. And she I mean, she's got some style, I guess, but
She does.
she dies like immediately.
Well, that's true.
She's just super overconfident and gets killed by a crying 14-year-old. So we gotta start trending down here, and things have to really stand out in order to get something. And this just didn't really stand out for me.
Okay.
Sure, it's
I mean,
giving
I
us a
think
little
that's fair.
more information about where we might be going, and yeah, I mean, this is no Boxy. This isn't really even a game sen. So
yeah.
sorry, it's just got to be a 3.
Okay.
And you're lucky you're getting a 3.
All right. And my English title for this episode is Beauty from Within.
Not
which is
look
me-
out, Usagi.
No.
Beauty from within.
I tried not to do a lookout this time because I overused that a little bit. How about you?
Mine is pinks and blues.
I like it.
We were getting out of a painting one without me saying blues.
Fair. That's
Painting blues.
absolutely fair. Next episode, we are talking about episode number 29. Daikon Sen. Gucha Gucha Koi no Shikaku Kaneki in Japanese. Total Chaos, the Messy Love Rectangle, the English translation, and the English title, Too Many Girlfriends.
Okay.
Yeah. Not too spoilery, so I think we're okay as far as that goes.
Girlfriend blues. No.
Save it.
Okay.
Well, that's our show for this week, and the Name of the Moon will be punishing you next week with another episode of Sailor Noob.
Gucha Gucha.